Hello, family. Tony here. It's Monday night, August the 24th. I just wanted to give you a little encouragement. This is a pretty interesting story. I was reading through my comments today, and this is from the video from yesterday morning. And a viewer sent a comment that says, "I got to tell you this, brother. I started to watch this video, and I heard you say, 'Lord, just give me something to give the people.' And then you said you would just open the Bible and read wherever you open it. Well, when I heard you say that, I asked the Lord to show me something. When I opened the Bible at a random page, and I opened it at Jeremiah 31:30 and started to read what it said as you continued talking. Then I heard you say that you'd opened your Bible at the same book and chapter, and you started reading what I had just read seconds ago. I was like, oh wow, what are the chances of that happening? I don't have any bookmarks on this page, and I also believe that God must have led me to this channel too. You believe in the pre-trib rapture like me. I have had a few dreams of rapture, and I have such a strong feeling that it's going to be so soon. I think this year. God bless you." Guys, this is amazing, but this is so common for me in my life, and I think this is the way God confirms things. I genuinely prayed and asked God for something, and that's genuinely where I opened the Bible too. And so maybe this was God's way of showing, that this is what message He wanted to be said. I don't know. It is the chances of someone opening the Bible to the very book that I had already opened to after I prayed is astronomical. But that's how God works, guys. There's no coincidences with the Lord. The Lord is He's awesome. It reminds me of Psalms 37:23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and He delighteth in His way. There's no coincidence. I'm going to tell you all a quick story now. When I met my wife, she's my second wife. Me and my first wife was married very young, and we just irreconcilable differences led us apart. But I thought my life had come to an end, and when I met my second wife, I had prayed for so long that I would meet the woman of my dreams, or my soulmate, that I would be with forever. And without getting into all the details, the way we met, everything that happened was just the odds of it were so great, and everything. It was amazing. But there was this thing. I know everybody has heard of this now. At the time, this was before I ever had internet or anything, and I'd never heard of anybody else saying this, but I used to see 11:11 on the clock all the time and thought it was like a lucky number or something. So every time I would see it, I would tell my kids and my wife I love them, my first wife. It was my thing, it was just my little thing. And if I saw 11:11 and I felt like it was just lucky, and I would say that. Okay, now I'm not into numerology or any of that kind of weird stuff. I'm a Christian and I don't believe in that kind of stuff. Okay, it's probably divination of some type. I'm just saying it's just odd because it like I was seeing it all the time, right? I didn't know that other people had that same coincidence happen to them. So I'm not trying to get into the dogmatic sense of it. I'm just saying. So anyways, we had not been together too long, but we were visiting some family in Charleston, and it was 11 o'clock at night. We were watching Mad TV. It comes on at 11. Now, I'd never told her. I hadn't known her that long, and I never told her about this 11:11 thing. Well, at 11:11, she looks over at me out of nowhere, and she says, "It's 11:11, make a wish." My mouth must have dropped clear to the floor. And I said, "What did you just say?" And she told me again. I said, "You got to be kidding me." So I told her the story. She says, "Wow." And so, and I knew that was God showing me, confirming to me that this is the woman that I've been praying for. This is my soulmate, and I've been with her for 21 years, and actually 23 years altogether, and since I met her, and she is definitely my soulmate, guys, and I know that God led me to her, and there's no coincidences. I'll tell you another quick story, and then I'm gonna get off here. One time in the house that I used to live in, we didn't get no reception for TV at all. I got one channel on my TV with an antenna. It wasn't even a local channel. It was a channel out of Chicago, of all places. And it played basically the same exact shows night after night after night. And my wife had gotten used to those shows, and she was interested in them. Whatever, it's all there was to watch. She didn't have nothing else other than the internet. And so one day at work, all day long, I was thinking about the movie Ten Commandments with the Cecil DeVille. I think I'm saying it right. The old, 1950s version with Charlton Heston. And I was thinking about it all day. I had it recorded, and I wanted to watch it so bad. And it just kept popping up in my mind, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. I was really looking forward to it. So when I got home, I said to my wife, "Hey, you want to watch the Ten Commandments with me?" She says, "No, I'm watching my shows." And the only shows she could be watching are the same shows that come on every night on that channel. It wouldn't pick up any other channel. And I said, "Come on, watch it with me." I said, "I really wanted to watch this. I just, I think it would be fun, to watch it together, because it was like my favorite movie of all time, And she says, "No, I don't want to watch it." And so I got kind of frustrated. I'm like, "Dadgummit, I really wanted to watch it." And I didn't want to watch it while she was watching her shows and interrupt her shows, because it was on the computer and it was in the living room and everything. And so I went in the kitchen and I started washing dishes. And when I got in there and started washing dishes, I heard this tune. It sounded so familiar. It was a cartoon, but the music was so familiar. I said, "What is that?" And I went into the living room. I mean, this is the craziest thing. This was a night that a certain show come on every night. But this particular night, guess what was playing on the TV? The Prince of Egypt, the cartoon. the Ten Commandments story. It's exactly what it was. And I said, "Is that the Prince of Egypt?" She says, "Yeah." I said, What in the world?" She says, "Put on the movie. I would rather watch the movie than the cartoon." That's what she said. And we watched the movie. And so years and years later, and I felt like God must have been wanting us to watch that movie for a reason. So years and years later, after looking at the story of the Exodus, it's all of a sudden occurred to me. And there's other reasons too. There's some things that happened along with this. But the story of the Exodus is so important to the Christian faith because it shows the story of our salvation. It shows the rapture. It shows everything. It shows think about it. Egypt represents like the world, the world in sin or in bondage. And the Pharaoh represents the leader of the world in sin. And Moses, which means drawn from water, is kind of like it's almost like a Jesus figure in a way in the very first part of the Exodus, and then it changes at the end. But this is the thing. He leads us out of the world, away from the devil. This is Jesus Christ. He leads us out of Egypt, which represent the world, and sin, and the sin in the world. And he leads us out. And the first place we come to is the Red Sea, right? The Red Sea represents Jesus' blood. We have to go through Jesus' blood to get salvation. So we have to do it with faith. We have to walk into this situation by faith. We believe in Jesus and we believe in his blood atonement. And once we accept Christ, then we are separated from the world, and it's like living in the desert because our lives are different. We're no longer participating in the world. It's kind of like being in the desert, and we have to put all our faith in God because there's no water and food. It's like spiritual in the spiritual sense. So God provides for us. And God provides for a Christian the same way. He provides the spiritual learning and strength and encouragement and, ultimately our life. So he sends manna from heaven in the desert. And they get the manna, and that's how they survive in the desert. And then the next step is they come to the mountain, Mount Sinai. Through Jesus' blood, we are able to have a connection with God so that we could literally speak to God without having to have a priest do it for us and all that. So we have a relationship with God. We're able to come to the mountain of the Lord and literally talk to him. And then another part of the story shows where the first generation couldn't enter into the promised land, which is representing the life in the flesh. The flesh can't enter into the promised land, into heaven. And no one in that generation except Joshua was able to cross through, and he led the second generation into the promised land. It's almost, and Joshua now represents Jesus, and then literally the word Jesus comes from Iesus in Greek, which originally came from Yeshua in Hebrew, and Yeshua is also Joshua. There was no J's. The word Joshua and Yeshua are very similar, if not exactly the same in Hebrew. So Yeshua, Jesus, is the one that leads us across the Jordan to the promised land. And Jesus overcame death. While the rest of the generation had to die, Joshua was able to cross over. I mean, this is all the story of Christ. Everything about the Exodus shows us a picture of our salvation and how we were rescued from the world of sin and bondage from sin and the devil through Christ and his sacrifice. Guys, I just want to tell you, there's no coincidences. If you haven't accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, do it today, because time is short. We're about to go home, guys. We're about to leave this place any moment, any day. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it happened this month. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened next month. It wouldn't surprise me if it happened tonight. I mean, that's how. I mean, there's so many things going on now. You got this rabbi saying that their Messiah, which is going to be the Antichrist, because the Jews didn't accept the Messiah, Jesus. So, but they will accept this man who's ultimately going to be the Antichrist, and they're saying that the Messiah is supposed to appear or come on the scene or whatever on Rosh Hashanah in September or shortly thereafter. You need to look this up if you haven't heard about it. But anyways, accept Jesus while you still have time, and I love you guys very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Just like I said, remember, there's no coincidences with the Lord. So if there's something happening in your life that's amazing, well, I guarantee you it was orchestrated by the Lord. I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.